Do you expect to see Antonio Brown in the NFL again?
No, I do not. Obviously, one would look at his talent, and one would say, obviously, with the NFL, with their bottom line tendencies, would want somebody like him, and they're willing to tolerate somebody like him. My response to that would be, although it is absolutely correct that there are people who've done far worse than Antonio Brown, that managed to be in the National Football League, I would bring up the name Colin Kaepernick only for this reason. His decision to kneel and, in the owner's eyes, compromise the bottom line, they wanted to send a message to discourage others from following him in the future, being pioneers in certain movements. Antonio Brown directly attacked Robert Kraft. How do you think that's going to flow with the other 31 owners in the National Football League? I mean, if they take bottom line issues personally as it just pertains to dollars, what do you think they're going to make of personal attacks aimed in the direction of an owner? They ain't flying with that. Let's get to the personal side. This man, Antonio Brown, decides that what he wants to do, allegedly, is the text messages that he sent out about the person accusing him, the second charge against him. He sent out pictures of her children. In the meantime, he also made sure to talk about Big Ben yesterday. He talked about Robert Kraft yesterday. He talked about Shannon Sharpe yesterday. Okay, he brought up these folks' names. How do you think that's going to fly in the locker room? He's called Ryan Clark a sellout. He's attacked Juju Smith-Schuster. How do you think that's going to flow? He sat up there and went after Mike Tomlin. He threw Mike Tomlin under the bus. How do you think that's going to flow? This man, I give him credit for this. He clearly doesn't discriminate. He's attacked everybody. He's attacked the owner, attacked coach, attacked teammates, attacked contemporaries. I mean, he has pulled no punches, okay? And he has shown that he can absolutely, positively not be trusted. I won't even get into the Sports Illustrated article where if you take into account having a tank filled of piranhas put in his home and, and having a personal valet and all, a personal chef taking care of a party. This man has earned over $69 million before taxes in his career. According to the Sports Illustrated article, owes $75,000, $921 and change, and can't pay that back, all right? So you can't be trusted with money. Can't be trusted with, information. Can't be trusted to have a relationship with people where you'll honor the code of not publicly revealing the things that people say to you and just putting it all out there. Who would want him around? I don't know of anybody. I mean, it's at a point right now where I think that no matter what team he goes to, you'll have players in an uproar because they'd have a problem with somebody in that locker room. Don't get it twisted. New England's a different story because Bill Belichick is seen as having ultimate control, and obviously Mr. Robert Kraft made the move. Bill, we getting rid of this brother. He's got to go. And it's nice that Tom Brady has said nice things about him. But by and large, players, coaches, ownership, management with Mayock and Gruden, there's nowhere you can turn where he hasn't created an elevated level of distrust in his direction.
He will play in the NFL again, I believe. It won't be any time very soon, but eventually he will. And the reason is, Stephen A., I agree with every single word you just said about Antonio Brown. There's something wrong with Antonio Brown. Emotionally, mentally, there's something wrong. And I've hesitated saying that until now. And I've alluded to it. I've suggested maybe. But clearly, this is such self-destructive behavior. There's something wrong here. Maybe he got drunk with his own success. He had a tough background, and maybe that's, it's destabilized him in certain ways. But there's nothing that sobers you up like reality. And I'm not talking about the kind of reality, Stephen A., that he now hears the headlines or he's not playing football or whatever, because whatever money he owes or doesn't owe, he's still getting out of a fancy car and going into a fancy house and eating what he wants, when he wants, and all those kind of things. But when reality sets in, when his real revenue stream is cut off, and when the thing he does better than maybe anyone in the world, almost as well as anyone who's ever done it, it sets in that he can't do that anymore. Then I have a feeling he'll be sobered up enough to calm down and maybe try to make some amends and get back. And in our culture, we like nothing better anyway than to build someone up, tear him down. We didn't tear Antonio Brown down. He did that to himself. But then watch them pick themselves back up. And I think if and when Antonio Brown hits rock bottom, he will do that and wind up back in the league at some point. But it doesn't seem to me, based on his tweets, which make him, he sees himself as a victim, refuses to take responsibility, continues to do stupid things in text messages. It doesn't seem to me that that point is now. But, Ryan, I do believe it will come at some point in the future.
No, I absolutely believe Antonio Brown will get an opportunity to play in this league. I believe we'll see him again on a team for many of the reasons that Max has mentioned. And Stephen A., you are absolutely right about everything you say about Antonio Brown. As far as impulse control goes, this is the worst I've ever seen it. As far as a guy not being able to control his emotions enough to just get by on great talent and do what he loves to do in a way that not many people can do it and make enormous amounts of money, the fact that he's ruined that is crazy to me. But I do believe we love a redemption story. We like to see people come back. And when the reality sets in, when you already lose Zenith and then you lose Nike, and now you won't be getting the money that you expected through those guarantees, and life starts to change, you'll be a little different. Here's Antonio Brown's problem. Antonio Brown's problem is understanding fault and understanding responsibility. When he deals with anything, nothing has been his fault. We even argued over whether it was Mike Tomlin, if it was Big Ben, did Juju Smith-Schuster do anything? When he was in Oakland, was it John Gruden's fault, Mike Mayock's fault? No, it's been Antonio Brown's fault. But he doesn't have to accept that. What he has to accept is responsibility. Because once you accept responsibility, now going forward, you understand that your actions have to change what happened in the past and fix it going forward.
Thank you so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.